topic of the day. So transition here. All right. So this came out today. As I was wrapping up some news stories to talk about, and this one, pretty big one. This is off of Kotaku.com, written by Jason Schreier. U.S. Senator introduces bill to ban loot boxes and pay-to-win microtransactions. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican, today announced a bill that would ban loot boxes and pay-to-win microtransactions in, quote, games played by minors, unquote. A broad label that the senator says will include both games designed for kids under 18 and games, quote, whose developers knowingly allow minor players to engage in microtransactions, unquote. Haley will introduce the bill, quote, the Protecting the Children from Abusive Gamers Act, unquote, to the U.S. Senate soon. In press materials announcing the bill, Haley's team brought up the Activision game Candy Crush as an egregious example of pay-to-win microtransactions, thanks to its $150 Lucius bundle that came with the whole bunch of goodies. The bill will also be likely to apply to a host of online games that feature loot boxes and other ways in which players can spend money for real benefits. An update to the story, the ESA did respond, saying, quote, numerous countries, including Ireland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, determined that loot boxes do not constitute gambling. We look forward to sharing with the senator the tools and information that the industry already provides that keeps the control of in-game spending in parents' hands. Parents already have the ability to limit or prohibit in-game purchases with easy-to-use parental controls. So, let me just say.
I mean, first off, I don't appreciate you showing Battlefront 2 fucking footage, but that's fine.
Oh. It was last minute.
You know what's funny, Anthony? I don't even think this is Battlefield 2. This is all Battlefield 1.
Oh, it is. It's just Battlefront 1. Oops. Okay. Well, you get the picture I'm trying to go for.
Oh shit, that's funny. No, I think first and foremost, is it cool if I send Ramen the Google Hangout link to get him in here?
Sure. I mean, I just can't fit him into the screen.
But you know what? He'll have to deal.
All right.
I think when he talks, it'll pop up on my end, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Ramen. Okay, so my like initial thoughts on the whole thing are that it's Jesus Christ. Hang on a second.
Yeah, or I'll talk and you do that while you're doing that. So when I read the article and when I my initial gut reaction to this news story is that unfortunately, because of how our government is right now, the way it is, the administration that is under it, the old group people thinking of what they're thinking of how games work or how it's affecting kids, and these are the same group of people who don't know how the internet works. I do think that this bill will be pushed through, and I think that it will pass, and it's because ESA can...
again, there's the big argument, Anthony. This is the point I was trying to. This is what I was going to say. Is like the big argument I've had. The big argument about it overall is what constitutes gambling, and loot boxes are not gambling. Because to me, gambling is you have the ability to straight up lose, where you get nothing. And I have never played a game where a loot box gave you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, am I okay with a... First and foremost, I'm going to go with the David Jaffe angle on this. We cannot allow the government to control what happens in video games. Period. This is where problems come in, and this is where government interaction should not be a thing. To me, video games are an art and a capitalistic idea. They're designed in such a way that gets players to want to play them, but on top of that, they're made to sell product. If the government sticks their hand into that, now we get regulations on all sorts of shit, and loot boxes is just the fucking tiny snowball that turns into a fucking avalanche.
You're not wrong. The ESA was purposely made to avoid the government in the first place. Because the government kind of put out ultimatums like, hey, either change or we'll change for you. And times are changing. Funny enough. And I agree we shouldn't have government involved in our games, in the game industry, because it could lead to much bigger things. And as far as this bill, as far as like this in regards to, the definition of a microtransaction or loot box, that is what I'm very curious as far as like what they deem to be gambling per se. And we'll probably see game companies either do two things.
You had a part at the end there, and I don't remember who it was because I was trying to do this. Somebody said that loot boxes are not gambling.
Oh, that was the ESA. They were saying that there was multiple countries that have said that loot boxes do not constitute gambling. And they're looking to share tools and whatnot to explain it to the senator.
I mean, you could argue until you're blue in the face, and I might even agree with you that loot boxes, and some of them, not all of them, are predatory. That they do things to entice children, young adults, grown men, grown women, to purchase their in-app or their in-game purchases. I didn't want to say fucking in-game purchases, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be bad writing, but my issue at hand is that to me, every adult has the responsibility of spending the money that the way they want to spend it. If you were going to allow your children to play games on consoles that you own, lock that shit. Make sure they aren't spending their money willy-nilly on there, or your money willy-nilly. And if they are, that's on the parent. It should not be on the game developer. It should not be on anybody else but the parent. Plain and simple. It pisses me off that the government's like, well, children are spending in-app purchases and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no. I have plenty of friends with kids who responsibly block that shit so it doesn't happen. And if that's your argument, you're just a shitty parent. Or shitty parents.
Yeah. And they're taking that think of the children argument, which has been a tiring thing for so many years, and there's been so many studies that has proven again and again that these people who think that are wrong. And the thing is, though, is as I said before, I think and this is my prediction. This is what I think what may happen is like it will pass because of that thinking from that senator and the people there who are in Congress don't know what the internet is or how it works. We'll go to that essentially.
I sincerely hope you're incorrect on that, Anthony. Like I fucking hope to God you're incorrect on that. I mean, first and foremost, it's going to take years for anything to fucking.
Oh, absolutely.
But the other thing that's going to be important is there's going to be a lot of like rigmarole with it too, because there's going to be a lot of people coming in saying like it's not gambling. And I can prove to you it's not gambling. It might be predatory, but so are fucking gotcha machines and claw machines. As I've pointed out to you before. Man, every time this fucking topic gets brought up, I get more and more irritated by it.
Mm-hmm.
I get more and more frustrated. It's like, you've never played a game where... obviously, like if there's items in the game that can affect gameplay and you can get those also in loot boxes, then yeah, I'm against that shit. Like I never fucking defended Battlefront 2's bullshit with that. But what I did defend was I was like, those cards didn't really matter. They didn't really affect gameplay that much, but they affected gameplay enough for it to be a problem. So I'm okay with the idea of getting, like, banning those. But I mean, again, that turns into that whole like snowball effect. Like, where does it end?
Right.
Sort of.
And I'll finish this with this thing I was kind of saying earlier of like what I think if say it happens, say it went through, I can think of two things that result from this. One, either game companies are still going to make some way a loophole into their games, loot boxes or microtransactions to make it work, so to just not break the bill, the law, or the other thing I'm thinking of is that game companies, publishers are going to just like stop altogether. Just anything, any mention, anything new boxes, they will stop because of this if it does pass through the bill. I mean,
to be fair, you're seeing more of a halting in that regardless. More and more games are doing less and less in terms of like purchasable loot boxes.
Yeah.
But it's really the only games doing it nowadays are the games as a service ones.
It's true. It's very true. Speaking of microtransactions and such, so this next topic is about Randy Pitchford and his latest ongoings of what he's been doing.
Hello.
Hey, Rob.
Hello.
I was like,
Hi.
we got a new friend.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, Robin. Welcome to
Hi.
welcome to the show. It's been quite some time.
It's been a long time.
Yes. And you're gonna talk here because I'm gonna say this article. So listen while I talk.